Do you have an iPad lying around? It may just be the tool that you need to streamline your streaming. Hey everybody, David Paskin here, Torah Tech Guy, sharing with you some great tech for your great Torah. I resisted for a long time the iPad. It's not a tool or even a toy that I really use for anything. I haven't gotten into the whole reading on digital reading thing. I'm still stuck in books. I still need the paper in my hands. For watching content, I find it too big. Hello, Family Cyber Clinic. Good to see you here. But I have found 3 ways that using an iPad has really made the work that I do in digital space much easier. And I want to share them with you today. 3 simple tools that I think will be helpful to you. The first one is a simple home automation app. So, oh, that was the wrong button. I just pressed the wrong button. Sorry, here we go. So here's my iPad. That's my puppy. Isn't she cute? That's Sadie. So the first is a simple home automation app. Now, I will say getting this set up was not simple. I probably, if I had done a little more research, I probably could have found the right bulbs or the right app. I jerry-rigged it, but it works. And that's this green guy down here at the bottom, this Casa app. It's also a TP-Link. I'm not quite sure what the relationship is between those two. So basically, I have 3 lights here in my office, in my studio, all hooked up using these little Casa plugs. So you just plug the light into the little doohickey, the plug, and you plug that into the wall, and then you connect it over Wi-Fi. And that means that I can turn on or off my lights with just one click of a button. I just press the off button up there where it says studio, and you'll see they all turn off, and I press on and they all turn on. And if I want to, maybe if I want to have one light off or one light on, oh, look at that. Now I'm getting the Christmas thing in the background. Wait a second. That never I think that happens just when you like turn it on too quickly. There we go. If that does happen, these lights all come with these silly little remote controls, and I just choose the color that I want. But being able to just jump in before I start a meeting, before I start a class, before I start a service, press one button and my lights just turn on is fantastic. Now, I do have other lights that I need to turn on. I don't have them all connected through the iPad, but these 3, instead of having to run around and turn all 3 of them on independently, this is a really fantastic tool. And you can do this for any number of lights. You can plug them all in, connect them all, build out a room in your home or in your studio, have all these lights in that room, and then just press one button and turn them all on or off. So that's the first little tip, and it's really, really helpful for me. The second tip is for when I'm using Keynote. So I have a Keynote open here on my desktop, and I want to control this Keynote. And I also want to be able to see the presenter notes. One of the things about presentations, both in PowerPoint and Keynote and even Google Slides, is managing all of the windows, managing the presentation itself, managing the speaker notes, if that's where you're putting your notes. I hope you're putting them there, not in the presentation itself. Being able to go ahead and back amongst your slides. All that stuff can get unwieldy. So using an iPad, it makes it much, much easier. So I've got this Keynote open here. Now, if I jump back into my iPad and I open the Keynote app, one of the things you'll see is up at the top, right next to where it says select, there's a little, looks like a phone with a play button. If I press that button, it's going to connect to my MacBook. It knows that Keynote is open on my MacBook. And now if I press play, what it's going to do, it automatically made my presentation go into presentation mode. So that window is now fully in presentation mode. If I go forward or back, you can see the slides are moving. And if I go back over to the iPad, I don't seem to have any show notes here, but or speaker notes. This was a bad example. But on the left-hand side, you would see the speaker notes. On the right-hand side, you can see the next slide. And of course, you can change the way this looks if you just want to see the current slide or next and notes or current and notes or current and next. You can change all the different views that you want. I like to have next and notes so I know what I'm saying now and I know what's coming up in the next one. And of course, you can also make your presenter notes larger, the font larger or smaller. So this is, and then the way you advance is just by literally just touching the screen. So I touch the screen and the slides advance. Most of the time I'll be using a foot pedal to advance because I like to have my hands free. But even if I'm doing that, I'll almost always have this open as a backup. If the Bluetooth conks out on me and the foot pedal doesn't work, I'll always have this iPad here, not only so I can have my speaker notes, but also so that I can just reach forward, press with my finger, just literally tap with my finger anywhere on the screen. Actually, it's not anywhere, now that I'm looking at it. It is anywhere in where you see the slide itself. So I'm just clicking around to see. Yeah, you want to kind of click, well, it's interesting. I'm clicking, but I can't really tell where it works and where it doesn't. It seems to work in some places and not in others. Most of the time, if you click on the slide itself in the Keynote app here in your iPad, it'll go ahead every time. So fantastic little use of Keynote and the remote control feature, which, by the way, you can also do on your iPhone. So if you are more comfortable having an iPhone, just kind of holding it in your hand as you're speaking, you could just, with your thumb, kind of click through the slides like that, using that. The third tool that I use is Video Pencil, and I use this for telestration, for drawing. And I've done a whole video on this. As soon as I press this button at the bottom here, it's going to take us into infinity mode. So I'll just do it for a moment, but I want you to see the interface. So this is, oh, that's a beautiful look on my face. All right, so there we go. We're now in infinity mode. I just wanted you to be able to see the toolbar at the bottom. So let me go ahead and jump out of this. So what I can do now on my iPad, in fact, you know what I could do? I could do this. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I can do that. Let me bring you over to my iPad. So you can kind of get a sense of what I'm dealing with here. I can see on the iPad what's going out to you, into Zoom land and into YouTube land and everything. I also have all these pens here that I can use to telestrate right over. It's not good to draw white on white, but to telestrate over my screen, and it gets the job done. It's a really, really nice, clean way to add some sparkle and to really grab people's attention. That way, I'm not pointing them to a slide. I'm not pointing them to something they have to read. I'm the focus, right? Whatever I'm presenting is the focus, and I'm able to telestrate right on top of it. So 3 apps. The Casa app for home automation, for some lights. If you have lights in your office, doesn't matter. They don't have to be special lights. You don't have to buy special lights. You just buy the little plugs, the outlets, and you plug them in, and then you press the little button on the side, and you connect them via Wi-Fi. Second is using in Keynote the Keynote remote tool on your iPad so that you can see your speaker notes, not have to look off to the side. It also will clean up your desktop. You'll only have to have on your desktop your presentation itself, not the notes and not the advancing. You can do all that on your iPad. And third is the Video Pencil, which I use. Yeah, I like footpads too. They are convenient. This is Robert is just mentioning that he likes footpads. Here's or foot pedals. Here's the thing. Oh, you use it for editing videos. So I don't edit videos, but that's pretty cool actually. So here's the thing. My overlay seems to be out of whack. I wonder why that is. Let me try and fix that real quick. See how it's a little high up. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, I have to unlock it. No. Huh. Let me do this. That's really strange. I can't get it to, maybe I have the scene locked. Is that what I have? No, I don't have the scene locked. Why can't I do this? Let's see. Sorry about that. I'm fidgeting with this to get it to, oh, there we go. Fill entire frame. Oh, maybe that's just where it's supposed to be. It seems a little high. Seems a little high to me, but maybe I'm wrong. In any case, yes, I completely agree with you. Here's the thing that I found. I have found that, put it up here, maybe that'll work. Nope, still isn't working. I have 2 foot pedals. I've got this guy here. Let me take this off screen so that we're not so distracted by it. So I've got 2. This is the first one I bought, the Page Flip Firefly. This is a cheap, honestly, kind of a piece of garbage. In fact, that's the USB plug that broke off inside, and so I cannot plug this in anymore. It has to run on batteries. And I also have the Elgato foot pedal, Stream Deck pedal. This right now is just a footrest. This is the 3rd one I've had. They keep losing connection. I have no idea what's wrong with it. And honestly, I'm just afraid to plug this one in. So right now, I'm just using it as a footrest. And instead of that, I'm using this one works perfectly. It's via Bluetooth, and it just works fantastic. You just one pedal there to go forward, one pedal there to go back. It gets the job done. So yeah, I'm all about the foot pedals, especially if, you know, when I'm leading a service, I've got playing my guitar, I've got a keynote going, I've got this, I've got that. Having 2 more hands, as it were, connected to my feet is very, very helpful. In any case, Casa, home automation for your lights. Keynote, using that remote function. Video pencil. 3 fantastic uses for an iPad that you may have. It doesn't have to be a new iPad. An iPad that you may have lying around that will really streamline your streaming. So if you're leading a service, grab that iPad, have it up there on the bima, on the stage with you, so that you can advance your slides or your liturgy or whatever you're doing. If you're teaching a class and you want to telestrate, using an iPad to write on top. You don't need anything else to do these things. It's just your computer and your iPad. It's pretty cool. So that's all I got for you, folks. That's all I got. I'm really glad you were here. I will see you next time on Torah Tech Tips. Bye.